Alright guys, I'm back with another video on this alarm. I made some changes to the alarm because it wasn't exactly right actually. I mean, it functioned and everything, but I don't think it was quite wired correct. So let me turn this thing off real quick. Alright, so as most of you know by the title, I'm going to put the Viper alarm number. That is not the Viper alarm remote. This is the Viper alarm. God, I can't hold anything. I'm getting old. Alright, Viper alarm, just unlock and lock. Made some changes. A lot of you know that whenever I was activating it before, whenever I'd activate it, which I'm about to do, my ignition had some feedback from the wires. So we fixed that. So now I don't have any ignition feedback when it arms, disarms, or when it goes off. But what I did was, a lot of you know I've got these demon eye lights, and pretty much I just use the amber for driving lights. The white and the red, a lot of states it's kind of illegal. If you ran across the wrong cop, he'd probably give you a ticket because it had that red tint. So what I did is I just wired them up to those demon eye part of these three lights. So when I activate this thing and arm it, I just get three white halos. And if you look real deep, you'll see a little bit of the red back there. So that's the way I've got it hooked up, because that is not going through my ignition in any way, shape, or form. Now on the rear, I didn't go through my brake lights or anything like that. A lot of you know I've got these lights right up under my bags right here. I've got a video on them. If you look through my videos, you'll see a really short 10-second clip of these lights. These lights, the one thing that I never hooked up because I just couldn't, because of the way that I've got my rear lights hooked up. This is a turn signal, driving light, and a brake light, all three. So this new light, to wire it up that way, it was going to be a nightmare to go through a run-turn module. So what these actually have is a flowing signal that is amber. So it actually flows. So I never hooked those wires up. What I decided I'd do is I'd just hook those in with my alarm. So this is what I get. And I actually thought they would flow, but they've got red in them for some reason. They start to flow a little bit, but they never flow all the way. So that's basically what happens when I activate and disactivate my alarm. So I've got three, kind of lights on the front, and then I've got these on the back. So that's what it does. From a ways away, that's what you're looking at. Alright, so the other thing that I did while I was in here, I had two plans. Number one, I wanted to use my auxiliary input for the alarm. Okay, we talked about it in the last video. It's got an auxiliary input where if you hit the two buttons at the same time on this remote, the unlock and lock at the same time, it will latch or unlatch one of your functions on your motorcycle. It could be, I'm pretty confident that if you wanted to say, hey, it's wintertime, I want to hook in my heated seat, you could do that. You say, hey, it's wintertime, I want to hook in my heated grips, you could do that. And of course a radio you could do. A camera system, I started thinking about it. You could actually, if you got a camera system on your bike, you could actually do that. There's a million things. You could wire it up for your headlight, that the headlight would come on before you ever got to the bike. Maybe your LEDs, but most people have a remote for LEDs, so there's no need for that. What I did is I decided that I would do this. Let's see if I can do this and hold the camera at the same time. My thumb's been giving me trouble. I got trigger thumb. Ooh, this could be bad. Let's switch hands. Hold on. Cameraman, left hand, take the camera. Alright. Sorry about this. This is another 10 seconds of your life that's missing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to try to hit them both at the same time. Ooh, it's still difficult. Let me see if I can use my two fingers. Ha! Sometimes my brain doesn't work as fast as the rest of my thinking. So, let's do this. What happens is the radio comes on. Nothing else is on. but the radio comes on. So that's my auxiliary feature. Alright, so let's turn this down before we have trouble with the rest of the world, with the YouTube world. Okay, so it's now latched, right? So we want to unlatch it. All we'll do is either we'll turn the ignition on, the radio will still stay on, and we can turn it off whenever we turn the bike off. Or if you're still a ways away, you just same thing. Take your two buttons. Ah, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Take your two buttons. Man, this is very difficult. I'm glad I got thumbs. Alright, two buttons, and he's a goner. So that's your auxiliary input on this motorcycle. Again, the alarm, if this is your first time watching this video, got mine for 47 bucks. It's got a retail $1.99. If you go to Crutchfield, it's $1.99. You go to Amazon, you're going to find it for about $47. It's been out, you know, for a number of years. And you know what? I'm going to stop there. That's the alarm. I'm going to tell you something though. I hate these screw wells that are back here for these bolts. This thing, it gave me a heart attack trying to put this windshield back on. It's usually difficult, but it was extremely difficult this past time. It was so difficult, I broke my last Archon mount, and that's the reason y'all see this hole right here. I've got to find a new Archon mount. Because this one, I don't like how far it's sticking out. Archon. Anybody that needs something cell phone related, motorcycle mount, anything. A lot of people talk about all these other companies. Archon makes mounts. Okay, that's what they do. They make them for forklifts. They make them for motorcycles. They make them for big trucks. They make them for everything. Bicycles. Archon. And they're very affordable mounts. Okay. So go do a Google search for Archon mounts. Go to their website. Look, see what they've got. This particular mount, I'm thinking, of course it doesn't include this, but it's just the mount back here. It's like 20 bucks or something on their site. So that's what they do, and they do a great job with it. All right, so look at the title. This is the particular alarm that I had. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to wire in my trumpet horns. It didn't work out because it went back through the ignition. So the only way I guess I could put an air horn is I'd have to have a third air horn that was just strictly dedicated to the alarm. I don't know if I got room for that or not, so I'm going to put that on hold for now. Another thing, I've got a Facebook group. I know there's a million of them out there, but this one's, what's the name of that group? Kawasaki Voyager Vaquero owners. Kawasaki Voyager Vaquero owners. Actually, the top of the page has got a picture of this bike. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wiring schematic in the files section on that Facebook group of this alarm, the way that you can do the auxiliary part, and I'm going to put a wiring schematic for adding horn to your factory siren, because with this wiring schematic it would do both. If you were interested. Of course, you can do with this alarm, you can set it up where it would just do your factory horn. Again, not sure if that would go through your ignition or not. There's different ways to wire this thing, so there's a possibility that we could find a way that it wouldn't. But I'm going to put both of those on that Facebook group, Kawasaki Voyager Vaquero owners group. I think we got about 1,000 members now, so that's pretty good. And anything, you know, you want to add to that group, please do. Anything files related, you know, within reason that's motorcycle related, or any pictures, or, you know, anything. There's a photo album section. You're going to put your bike on it, put your bike on it. But it's a place to share ideas, and there's a lot of good ideas out there. So that's it, guys. Please remember www.MEtricoil.com if you're looking for oil for your car, for your motorcycle, for your lawnmower, for your diesel. What else do they do oil for? It's AMSOIL, so you know it's good stuff. At least I know it's good stuff, and once you try it once, you'll know it's good stuff too. Any of you that are using regular oil in your motorcycle and you notice after, I don't know, 1,000 miles, say 1,000 miles on your oil, you're like your clutch, it just doesn't feel as crisp as it felt when that new oil was in there. Get you some AMSOIL. You'll be 5,000, 6,000 miles in and still feels like new. AMSOIL is going to allow you to double your manufacturer's recommended oil changes. So I do an oil change pretty much once a year. I probably do about 7,000 miles a year, between 7 and 12,000 on a motorcycle. I put a few miles on it. But y'all check it out, www.MEtricoil.com. Request some literature if you'd like. You know, it is what it is. I'm just trying to make a couple of pennies here and there. And any other questions, you know, come to the Facebook group. Check us out, and love to have you. All right, guys, that was it. If you got any questions, post them. Come on over. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.